All right, welcome. Today we are brewing a German lager. We got Sam, our warehouse manager, in the office to brew with us today. If you've emailed the support email or the warehouse email, you've probably talked with him. He is great at his warehouse duties, but he has not brewed a ton of beer. So today he's up here. We're gonna do our best to show him how to brew beginner beer. We're brewing a pretty simple recipe. That way you can kind of just ask questions as you go. I know you have an idea of everything just from
I know the equipment really well. The process is beyond me.
Well, I think the first step is we went to the homebrew shop, picked up the grains, and then we're gonna go ahead and crush them in the grain mill, which you're familiar with. So
you've literally never brewed a beer before.
No, never.
Okay.
I drink a lot of beer.
That's one of the qualifications. This is gonna be a recipe kit, right?
yes, this is our German Pilsner recipe kit.
Okay, sweet. This will come double crushed, actually.
Yes.
So you don't have to have a grain mill for this. But if you do have a grain mill, you can crush it even finer.
So now is this triple crush process that we're doing today gonna screw anything up?
Worst case, we get a little bit more alcohol.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, Sam, you're very familiar with these guys.
Pretty familiar.
Really, the only thing that would be catastrophic when brewing a beer is if you forgot to put the grain basket in and just dump the grains directly in. Feel free to start dumping.
All right.
And look at that pour.
Beautiful.
That's a beautiful pour.
And that is 9 pounds of Pilsner malt and then a pound of Great Chit. Riverbend Malt House, which is actually a malt house in town here. They make really nice grains. The next step is going to be to recirculate. This is the actual mash. If you want to go ahead and open the ball valve on the front and then turn the pump on. This is the beauty of the spray valve, which you're familiar with.
Familiar.
This is kind of doing two things. It's going to give you a little bit better efficiency. And when I say efficiency, it's just converting the starches from the grains into fermentable sugars.
Yep.
And also it's keeping the temperature consistent because the water is constantly moving. So today our mash temperature is 149. It's going to maintain that for your typically going to be a 60-minute mash. We do abbreviated mashes during our live streams just to save time.
I was wondering.
So we do a 30-minute mash, 30-minute boil for these. Our recipe kits are designed for a 60-minute mash and 60-minute boil. Basically, we're going to set our timer for 30 minutes so we don't forget when the mash is up.
Show these hoses.
For sure.
And if you could kind of explain it.
All right, Sam, I'm going to stand where I'm not blocking the camera, so I'm good here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really bad, even though I designed this system, of like hooking hoses up wrong because I just don't pay attention. Am I in the way now?
Now you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm really bad. I like, everyone makes fun of it. Did I step right back in? I'll stand over here. You got your wort out, and that's going to go into your pump in. And then the pump out, the best way to remember pump out is it's the one we put the ball valve on. And then pump out is going into the spray valve. And then we're using the 120 system, which obviously you're aware of here.
Yeah. People say lighter beer styles aren't good for beginners because if you screw it up, then you're really going to be able to tell since there's not like a lot of hops or malt in there to hide it. So we'll just say this is for the beginners who are finally now moving on to brewing their first light beer. We're going to use like simple equipment. We're going to use simple methods, and it is a nice beginner recipe because there are very few ingredients and there are very few steps involved.
So we're doing what's called a mash out.
Well, you use a controller.
Yeah.
Go 169.
That works. Yeah, 69.
Let's go 170.
170.
What's first wort hop when are we doing that?
Once you pull the grain basket,
Okay.
then you put them in while the kettle heats up to a boil.
Andrew's on it, man.
Thanks, Andrew. Most beers, you're going to add your first hop addition like once it starts boiling. We're going to do a little bit differently. We're going to add the hops while it's coming up to a boil. So,
Interesting.
What time do the beers start flowing?
Oh my god.
Dude, that went big.
Nice.
Thursday.
Mash is done at this point, and then we just finished our mash out. We're at 169.9. Basically heating that up to 170. Kind of stop flow conversion gives you a little bit better efficiencies in the mash, which we talked about earlier. So at this point, we're going to turn the pump off, and then we're going to close the ball valve. This is the point that it's going to be very hot. So this is where the grain hooks come into play too. I'm going to enlist you to either pull the basket or put the hooks in.
Whatever you want me to do.
I'll have you lift the basket. It's first brew day. Lift it above it, and then I'll slide the hooks in as quick as possible, and just drop it back in.
That was way heavier than I expected it to be.
And the other thing is, like, our table's super high. If you're
Yeah.
gonna buy a table at home, like, literally get it like a lot lower, because then you can.
Oh, my
easily
table I
pick it
use
up.
at work for everything is
Yeah.
knee high.
It makes it so much easier. This is more for time. I'm gonna have you press down on the grains. This is just a lid to a pot.
Yeah, I see that.
And you don't have to go crazy, but just squeeze some of the water out of the grains. That way we're just not leaving, you know, a ton of water. I guess I can handle this since it's light now. But I'm just gonna remove the basket, and if you just tilt it like that, then you can kind of leave it, let it drain. It's not gonna make a mess. We are at the point where we're done mashing, and now it's time to bring it up to a boil. So with 120, we're limited by obviously a 15 amp circuit, 1650 watts. So the trick is to add your hop basket, and then you want to put it obviously where there's not a pickup tube or an element.
Right.
And then this is basically just gonna act as a spacer. So we'll put our lid back on, and while we're bringing it up to temperature, that will allow steam to escape, but it'll come up to temperature a lot quicker. And also with 120, the insulation jacket makes a big difference.
Yeah.
The recipe calls for hops. So I'm gonna grab those out of the freezer. And this is first wort hops, which is kind of a weird addition, which we talked about earlier. And we're gonna add them now while it's coming up to a boil. I'm gonna let you do the honors. And this is a German noble hop to go with our German Pilsner. Okay, so at this point, we're gonna switch it to 100% power. 100% power, bring it up to boil, right? Now we're at a point where wait and drain.
Love it. That's
And
part of the
then-
day. We got 10 seconds on our timer.
Cool. Feel free to add the Worklock tablet.
Okay.
Basically, it's a little tablet, and it'll help make a clearer beer. And then 1 ounce of these into the hop basket. And maybe give the old hop basket an old jiggle jaggle up and down.
Is that enough?
Yeah, you could use the handle of the mash paddle too if you want to give it a little stir. Just make sure they're all kind of submerged in there. While this is going on, I guess I could show you how to hook up the plate chiller. It's labeled, so it makes it simple. You got your wort in, your cold water in, and then your wort out, water out. So basically, we just hook a garden hose to this.
Okay.
Run the water outside or down a drain, whatever's easiest. All right, if you want to hook this up to our spigot over there. So we got 5 minutes left in the boil. We're adding our final hop addition. Another ounce of Saphir.
Saphir.
Boil's done. Do you mind hitting the heat button? All right, so now we're gonna purge the air out of the lines. And then if you want to turn the cooling water on. And then guess what? More waiting.
Cool.
Yep.
Love that part.
Oh, you got a beer? Do you need more beer?
Yeah, I kind
beer?
of completely underestimated
Yeah,
how
let's
little
do
I
more.
had.
We'll pop up another one.
I gotta catch up, so I'm gonna open another beer. Just got back from the gym. Got a good pump on. What are we drinking here?
Whatever you,
Whatever you
dealer's
want.
choice, man.
You choose.
Let's go this one.
Green?
Yeah. All right, Taco Billy. We're gonna order some tacos.
Oh, yes. Wonder why it's feeling so good. Because I haven't eaten today.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, I know. I feel great.
You really
It's
wanna
the
get-
cheapest date,
You
dude.
want to maximize the mileage out of your beer?
Yeah.
Just don't eat anything.
We're gonna transfer the sweet wort. It's not beer at this stage because it hasn't been fermented. So we're gonna transfer the wort into our fermenter, which in this case is one of our 6.5 gallon buckets. Off camera would be PBW it, and then I star sand it. So
Yeah.
I'll unclip this, and then you're just gonna hold the hose
Gotcha.
above here and fill the bucket. Serious question. Do brewers make beer?
I'm gonna go with no, because I feel like I'm being guided.
Yeah, you're just telling you something dumb.
Don't do Sam like that.
Beer-
Come on now.
Brewers don't make beer, they make wort. Yeast makes beer.
Yeah.
I hate that. Yeast is what turns the sweet wort into
I think I've
alcohol.
met at least 20 people in my life who
Yeah.
would say that, unironically.
Yeah, it's good practice to just put a little like sanitizer on the packet and on your scissors.
Okay.
And if you want to just dip them in there. If you were fermenting this warmer, you'd need 1 packet of yeast. You wouldn't need 2, but since we're actually going to lager this at a colder temperature, you need 2 packets of yeast.
Gotcha.
Recipe kit will come with 2 for you.
That's got that good old toe jam.
Yeah, it does. That's when you know it's good. The nice thing about the bucket is you get a real nice tight seal.
There we go. We're on there.
The airlock is the last thing. Boom, shakalaka.
Beautiful.
And then you want it pretty much where you have it's perfect.
Cool.
Half full. We're gonna take that gravity reading. This is super simple. Pop that in there and give it a twist.
Okay.
1.040, so that's like 1040.
Yeah.
So we're like at like 1039. It's like right below 1040. I think the last step that makes this the easiest lager is putting it in the crawl space.
Yeah. Yell.
MUL.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. Remind me what this is.
Yeah, that is a fruited raspberry sour.
Ooh.
Remember brewing that?
I don't remember, I just don't remember what it
It
was.
was a German Pilsner.
German Pilsner, okay.
It's a German lager that has been fermented and carbon packaged, but it has not actually been lagered.
Okay, what does that mean?
I forgot, this is your first beer ever. So
Yeah.
the lagering process involves holding the beer at like 33 degrees, very
Okay.
cold temperature, for 7 to 8 weeks.
Okay, so obviously in the crawl space that didn't happen.
We fermented it cooler in the crawl space, but we have not properly lagered it. It's
Okay.
been lagering for about 4 days.
Okay.
The lagering process cleans the beer up. Nice, crisp, clean beer. It is a little fruity at this point, and it's not as good as it could be.
Sure.
I think it's pretty dang good.
Okay.
However, here's the thing. We're done waiting for this beer. We are now going to just go
Sure.
full send on this tasting. Wherever it is where it is. And just know that it will probably get better from here.
Okay.
But first questions first. Are you done driving the forklift for the day?
Yeah, I mean, I might back it up a little bit, but it should be all right. We're probably gonna kill these before the end of the workday, so I don't wanna.
Please don't. Please just take it home.
Little bit of fizz action going there. I'm gonna, Okay, I see what you mean by it having little fruity notes, but
Should you notice like a little appley kind of taste?
I'm no expert on apples, but yeah, I taste a little fruitiness. It's not bad. I mean, I get it. I get what you mean by the cleaning it up aspect, but it does have a really good aftertaste. Oh man, that third one, it's like getting punched in the face with a fruit basket, a very beery fruit basket. For it not being correct, it's good. I like it. First beer, I'd say it's a success.
All right, well, nice work on your first beer. And don't drink too many of those if you still have to drive this forklift later today.
I mean, I'll be sure I'm under the legal limit if I have to get back on it.